Fire it up, footballers! It's Wednesday! Let's go! Got a lot for you tonight. We're gonna be talking Djordje Mihailovic, U.S. men's national team soccer. We're gonna be talking the evolution of the outside back. Maybe even a little slap fighting. Will it last? We'll get into it here. That and more, maybe a little Chicago Fire talk, maybe a little banter if FC Neo Tokyo or PPG hop on the line. The Spit and Fire coming at you live here every Wednesday night, as per usual. Thanks for joining us live or after the fact. Having a little Dr. Disrespect Black Steel in my glass. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, too much. Way too much. Way too much. Start. I guess not. Don't usually put the ice cube in the Dr. Disrespect stuff, but I'm feeling it tonight. Sometimes you feel it. You feel it. But anyways, I want to shout out Fire for Food 2023. Check it out. Greater Chicago Fire Food Depository doing a bang-up job, doing incredible work. We got Angus McCourt already live in the chat. What's going on, Angus? Hey, Angus, all the way from St. Louis. What's going on, Angus? Cold up in the Chicago. We got a lot of snow we've been dealing with. Don't know how it's been for you guys out in the old St. Louis, or in the rest of the U.S. of A. All you national team supporters. Cheers, Angus. Drinking some local suds called Fat Elvis. I saw you tweet out a picture of that the other day. I liked it. I was like, ooh, that looks pretty tasty. Peanut butter and chocolate stout beer. I don't know. Now I take back what I said. I don't know. I have to try it. I'd have to try it. It sounds interesting. Is it tasty? Angus will let us know. Guys, greatly appreciate whatever you can do, or if you've already donated and all you could do is once, we greatly appreciate it. But every dollar buys up to 3 meals. It's kind of incredible what they're able to do. Greater Chicago Food Depository, of course, with prices increasing. I mean, we all know what's going on. Getting harder for everybody, so don't worry about it if you can't. Thank you either way. Appreciate it. But share. Appreciate the shares. Whenever you see Marty tweeting it out, or Section 8 tweeting it out on the old Twitters. Appreciate it. Djordje Mihailovic on the difference between Eredivisie and MLS. Every day here is intense. Each day you have to work as hard as you can and perfectly possible. Honestly, the first few weeks were a shock. The pressure to get the best out of yourself and each other, the intensity and the level of training, the switch to a new life in an unfamiliar environment, the transition was more drastic than expected. But now, I feel more at home every day. As Djordje. Good to hear from Djordje. No, I'm not accepting the terms, you random site. But good to hear from Djordje, and guess what? Goal from today. Djordje Mihailovic off and running. Already a goal to his name for AZ Alkmaar. Angus saying, we were supposed to get 5 to 10 inches. We got 1 inch. Wow, we got slammed here. At least we did in the suburbs of Chicago. And heading on in this morning was difficult. Woo! Angus saying it is an acquired taste. I like it now after a can or two. My brother has that with Modelo's, Moe D's as he likes to refer to them as, but with Moe D's, with Modelo's, My brother swears the first 2, maybe even 3 sips, you ain't gonna, but after that third sip, it just kicks in. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, this tastes good. You're locked in on the flavor. Sometimes it takes a couple of sips. You know what I mean? Guys, by the way, it's going to be probably a much shorter stream tonight than per usual. Special life event upcoming with Mrs. Spittin' Fire. Woo! About to be official. Let's go. Very excited for that. Coming up here in the next few days, but that's why I'm going to be ending the stream a little bit early, because we're only should be home later today, and like one of our last nights as a it's just fiancés and not married. But anyway, that's just some of the life business. Axe showing up. What's up, Axe of the New Yorkers? Axe of the Apostles. Axe of the wasn't terrible. I only had to shovel once. What up, Axe? Yeah, I actually shoveled for my neighbors. Did a little clear out for them. Cleared out a couple areas I didn't have to. I wasn't supposed to be home today, but work was very difficult to get to. And luckily, I have a job that is very understanding and a fantastic boss. Who, luckily, he lives closer. He was able to make it in today. But sounds like he won't be in tomorrow, and I will be in and running the show. But that's what happens. Congrats, James. It's very cool. Thank you, Angus. I'm so excited. I'm very excited. It's big change. Big change. Gonna have to get the old finger baba. The old 1-2. Excited though. The old ball and chain. That's what they call it. No. Congrats, Axe, and congratulations on the nuptials. But all right, boys and girls. So while I got you guys here, I'll let you guys kind of dictate the way of the show. Right now, the plan is I was going to do a couple exposés, reactions to Danny T Radio's Pro Rel for USA is toxic, or MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. I was thinking Pro Rel is toxic because I'm wondering. I support Pro Rel, but also I'm starting to think that maybe Pro Rel doesn't really solve for the problems in America. So it's becoming a bigger thing. But also, let's start with this. Diego Dalot in the role of the modern left back. While we wait for you guys to chime in and let me know which direction you guys want to go. Do you guys want to go a little Pro Rel toxic, or do you guys want to go Apple TV Plus from Danny T Radio? We're doing a little reaction. And then I also got Man United up for sale, but I'm definitely doing that one. Just asking for a little
Between 2005 here. And 2011, an unassuming kit accessory became a topic of fierce debate in British football.
Okay, this is not what I clicked, but we're gonna run with it. I love this thing. All right, look at this. Right? This is not what's on the screen.
To some, it was a necessary part of playing through European winters. And
that's a snood. This is a bula. I love these things, man. Look, it's like a scarf that just goes around your neck. You never have to tie. It's always there. You can do a couple things, like you could, like you could take it off, put it on your head, do some tricks. You know, just like make some things out of it. You know, just do whatever you got to do. But I usually try to wear it like this because it's less thick than a normal hat. But this is a bula I have. But they're talking about a snood, and the snood got banned.
Comforting to those not used to the harsh climate. To others, it was self-indulgent and something which needed to be eradicated from the sport as quickly as possible.
Right, what's self-indulgent about the snood? People, your neck, the nape of your neck, it gets cold. Especially in the frigid weathers of Iceland and North England and Scotland and Portland and Montreal and New York on a Thursday night. Angus saying, in a more perfect world, the relegation system would work. But some teams would be buried if that was the system in the States. All right, that has me leaning towards we'll go relegation after this video.
The story of what happened to the snood. Well,
tell me, what happened?
Snood is just a neck warmer.
Gonna hit
Often
me with
fur
that.
or fleece lined, and beginning in 2005, they started to appear on Premier League pitches, with wearing them during the winter months of the season. Carlos Tevez was probably the most notable wearer, but Yaya Toure, Mario Balotelli,
I remember
and Samir
Carlos
Nasri
Tevez
were
wearing those, right? Balotelli, yeah.
all often spotted in
who's that?
often spotted in the but Yaya Toure, Mario Balotelli,
Yaya Toure,
and Samir Nasri were all off.
Samir Nasri. Do you guys remember Samir? I'm gonna open up Discord, by the way, just in case anybody's popping in. Archduke was asking earlier what time the stream is. Archduke, I'm sorry, I'm just seeing that right now. I apologize. Let me slide in. Man, I should have told you. I did not see that.
Often spotted in them as
Angus saying, I wear a neck gaiter when it gets cold. It's easier than a traditional. That's what I'm saying. And on top of that, someone tweeted out about the traditional scarf in the U.S. soccer sense and asking, does it still have a purpose? I mean, if you get me a Bula with Chicago Fire on it, which I actually have, I have one somewhere. They gave it away on a giveaway one time. And I'll take that over a scarf every day of the week because I actually wear these every day. I mean, when it's cold.
as well as many others. And as is always the case with football's items du jour, snoods were soon being spotted on five-a-side and Sunday league pitches and school playgrounds too.
What would make them so illegal? That you're comfortable?
Seemed harmless enough, and yet, as had happened when football players had begun to wear gloves during games, and sometimes outside of winter, the snood faced a steady beat of opposition from
Right, so players can wear gloves, but not a neck. What if you just built it into the shirt?
pundits and in the media. Paul Ince, the player turned coach, at the time managing Notts County, said that he was sick and tired of seeing players, even when it's mild weather, wearing tights and these snoods around their necks. It's not right. Rio Ferdinand.
Okay, it's not right. What's not right about it? You haven't said what's not right about it. You're just like, it's not right. You just pick it. It's just like, it doesn't look right. Oh, please.
Rio Ferdinand, at the time still an active player, promised on Twitter that nobody would ever see a Manchester United player wearing a snood. Well,
this is so fucking archaic. These freaking archaic players. Oh, we're so old school. We won't wear snoods.
Well, Roy Keane, who had by that point retired, accused players who wore snoods of going soft. Perhaps most damningly of all, Alex Ferguson was scathing and was reported by local media as having said that real men don't wear things like that. So the quote
So
proper
now
football
now it's becoming this misogynistic thing. See, now it's like, oh, men, it's a man thing. It's a man thing. So they're turning it into a man thing. That's what's like. There's something wrong. There's something there's that these people have developed that viewpoint. There's some sort of screw loose. And hey, we know that there's a lot of screw looses in our athletes. And you can say it sounds as though he's judgmental about it without a reason. I totally agree with you. I mean, absolutely. He's just like, I don't like it. I can't believe he's wearing a scarf. I can't see his neck. I can't see what he's planning. It's like in poker, you can't see a player's neck. You can't tell if they're bluffing as much. But it's an advantage if you can see their neck and their heart starts. You start seeing their blood vessels palpitating. You're like, oh, it might be a bluff or it might be a big hand. You got to figure that out, of course. But what advantage is gained here? The coach is not watching the nape of the neck of the striker to figure out which way he's going to shoot on the penalty kick. It's fucking stupid.
didn't care much for the snood. But that was just on aesthetic grounds. Elsewhere, Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger was happy to argue in its favour, saying that he supported the snood on the advice of his medical team and after suffering...
Thank you! Arsene Wenger, of all people, supports it. But you know what? Arsene Wenger always seemed to me like a logical dude.
Neck injuries,
And I'm not an Arsenal fan, so... Well, that's probably why... Well, that's not probably why, but... That's probably why I'm a fan of Arsene Wenger, at least because I'm not an Arsenal fan. Are you guys? Are you guys Arsenal fans? Any Arsenal fans? In the comments or chats, let us know. They're kicking butt. I know that Connor is, by the way. Connor knows soccer, and they're kicking butt. Do you guys think they're going to win the league?
aren't useful. Then Chelsea head coach Carlo Ancelotti was fine with them too.
By the way, Carlo Ancelotti, guys, quietly become maybe one of the greatest coaches of all time, right? When did this guy, Carlo Ancelotti, all of a sudden become one of the greatest coaches of all time? It's like, bam! All of a sudden, he's like, he knows. There's this clip of him walking on the pitch, and a fan's like, "You got any gum, boss?" And the boss is like, "Boom! Gum!" That's how great management Carlo Ancelotti is. He's got the fans managed. Gum? Got you, kid. Got your back.
And them, he said, no, it's cold. But ultimately, there was another discussion.
Angus saying not a fan of Stan Kroenke. Dude, Stan Kroenke, is that the guy who owns Colorado? Stan Kroenke. Let's see. He owns Kroenke Sports. He's the owner of Arsenal. He's the owner of the Colorado Avalanche, the Colorado Rapids, as I thought, the Colorado Mammoth. What the hell are they? Colorado Mammoth lacrosse team. Cool. LA Gladiators, a professional Overwatch team, guys. The LA Gorillas, call it professional Call of Duty team. The Screaming Eagle Winery and Vineyards, a professional drinking team. Who wants to join? Little professional drinking team. Act saying they could only be able to play in shorts and jerseys. No undergear, no gloves, no turtlenecks. Get rid of them. Act says out. Get them out. Act says no pussies in here. Get them out. Act saying pussies be gone. This is a men's league. Whoa. Yeah, Stan Kroenke though, I like the Colorado Avs. They're probably my second NHL team. If I have a second NHL, my first team is the Blackhawks, guys. You know, the best sweater in the NHL. Yes, I spilled. Yes, I'm horrified. Yes, there was an accident. No, I don't have a towel. Yes, it's part chaos. But I fixed it. Okay. Damn it. Damn it, Nightbot. What are you saying now, Nightbot? Angus saying also owns the he's the owner of the Rams, so he knows how to thing or two about making money. And he was the purveyor of the greatest show on turf. Kroenke, the most hated man in St. Louis. No wonder Angus hates Stan Kroenke. Angus hails from St. Louis. St. Louis is the home of the Archduke. So it makes sense that Stan Kroenke is enemy number one. Shake harder, boy. Damn, I can't shake any harder. Shake harder. Shake harder, boy. That was what we meant to click.
Underway. What about safety that would ultimately lead to the banishing of the item? In February 2011...
Excuse me? So safety? What say? Oh, because it's around their necks. I mean, yeah, it could just... Yeah, but you're going to let a guy with a heart attack play? And this is banned for safety?
Item. In February 2011, FIFA expressed concern, wondering aloud that there may be a safety issue.
Okay, FIFA. When you say FIFA expressed concern, who in FIFA expressed concern? You mean somebody had money? You're not making money. Somebody would be making money if you could brand the snood and sell it as the official snood of Man U. So this is lost money. This is lost rev.
If a player was running through on goal and the opponent grabbed his snood, that could pose a danger to his...
Unless it was the kits. The Kit Corps. The Kit Corporations did not want anybody potentially coming in and covering up their kits and stepping in on that kit money.
His neck. It would become an item high on the agenda when the...
Okay, so let's break down this argument.
That could pose a danger.
There may be a safety issue
To his neck. It would...
Okay, so a player can grab any part of body of another player. Of course it is a foul, but here's the thing. If there's a part of the player that's available for that player to grab that other player, they're going to grab it, right? So this makes sense in that regard, right? In football, they don't have that, but they have different other things that some people play in chains, but they're not supposed to, right? Actually, a big Copa del Rey match tomorrow, Madrid Derby. Let's take a look. Take a look. Copa del Rey. That is the La Liga tournament, right? La Copa del Rey. Campeonato de España. Copa de Samuaste. El Rey. Commonly known as Copa del Rey, and simply La Copa, simply for oh Jesus. So let's go. Current champions are Real Betis, by the way. Real Betis. So today Barcelona. Real Sociedad played. Tomorrow Valencia, an athletic club, and Real Madrid. Oh my God, this is gonna be a game, boys and girls. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, of course, dominant the last few games. Let's see what lineup Diego Simeone has been putting out. Alvaro Morata, Griezmann, Lamar. Griezmann could be coming to MLS sometime soon, guys. Do you think that will get you tuned into LAFC or Inter Miami? Because that's probably where he's going. Antoine Griezmann would probably go to LAFC or Miami. If you think he would go to a different team, let me know what team you think he would go to in MLS. Antoine Griezmann. Alvaro Morata. Thomas Lemar. Thomas Lemar is not a midfielder I saw in this, but that's interesting. They must have converted him. I thought he was a pacey winger. Llorente, Correa, Coque, Molina, Witzel, Hermosa. I wonder about Hermosa's brother. Mandava, and Jan Oblak. Angus saying, isn't a player responsible for himself? I mean, we'll soon ban shirts because the color is wrong. See, that's the thing. If a player wants to grab them by the snood, automatic red, right? That's all you got to do. Automatic. And not just a red, multiple bannings. Because, oh, you're fucking with the player's neck there. You're fucking with the player's neck. Get out of here, wee laddie. You're banned from the game. For 3 games. For 3 whole matches. Act saying Spain's open, pretty much. Open for all. Spain is an open book. All right, did I finish my video of snoods? No. So we were talking about the safeties of the injuries of the neck. This is still, I mean, okay, they got a point here that I absolutely agree. If they're wearing a neck and they could grab it, it's going to be hard for a attacker or a defender to discriminate. Oh, I'm grabbing at his look. I'm grabbing at his jersey here, but look, my pointer finger has the snood grab and I rip it, rips his head back. Oh, neck injury. Man, yeah, that could actually lead to some significant issues. Bad whiplash, broken neck, spinal injury, bad concussion. This could cause some bad injury. So maybe something with an Adam's apple that's gnarly. Ugh.
Become an item high on the agenda when the International Football Association Board met at Celtic Manor in Wales at the beginning of March 2011 to discuss revisions to the games.
Did you guys have that pegged? Did you guys think that Celtic Manor was in Wales? First off, where the fuck is Celtic Manor? We're going right now. Celtic Manor, Wales. Please take us. Where is it? Take us to the Celtic Manor in Wales. Holy shit. Guys, this would be some weekend. Bring the clubs, bring the boys, hit the holes all day. At night, hit up the pool. Couple drinks, couple refreshers, bada bang, bada boom. You got a hole in one of a vacation, right?
Laws. And to the surprise of nobody, the snood was banned.
Act saying that I agree with Angus. Players have to be reasonable themselves. NFL, it's players' choice to have long hair. And if they get tackled by that, they can get tackled by the hair. In fact, I've seen guys with dreads ripped out. Ripped out. It's like gross. I'll pull it up right now. Why not? Why can't I? Dreads, NFL, ripped. Yeah. It's gonna be gross, but we're gonna go there just for a second. Dreads. Ah, look at that! What the fuck? Well, I'm definitely gonna see Marshawn Lynch, but what? Oh, we're definitely going to hair tackles. What the fuck? He did his hair. Don't do it. No! What the fuck is wrong? No! Don't do it! What is wrong with you? Beat him up! Beat him up right now! Punch him in the face! But that guy wore dreads. He left it out there. What is that guy supposed to do? What is this? Detroit playing Detroit? It's Detroit playing Dallas. Ricky Williams! What the fuck, man? You don't need to grab my hair. Dude! What the fuck? Dude, they just don't care. They don't care. These players don't give a fuck. These players don't give a fuck about the other guy. They do not care about the human. Because if they cared about the human, they're not pulling their fucking dreads out. They're not pulling their dreads out of their hair when they make that. I'm sorry, guys. That's fucking what the fuck. But hey, the NFL player made that choice to wear those dreads. They put it on the line. They left that risk for the biscuit. What risk was for that biscuit? I don't know. What biscuit was being risked? Wearing dreads? I don't know. But damn. Harsh life. No, don't do it. No, don't do it to him. No. All right, let's see. The last one here. I gotta see Marshawn. Oh. Marshawn, okay, what happened? Did he rip it out? Or did... Weird. Oh yeah, they don't really... Alright, they don't really say, but whatever. But damn, guys. Man, that's some harsh shit.
Then FIFA President Sepp Blatter said on leaving the meeting that the decision had been unanimous and that a snood is not part of the equipment.
Fuck you, Sepp Blatter.
And it can be dangerous.
Someone had to say it.
Even like hanging somebody. There was...
That's... Okay, he's right. That's the concern, though. Can be dangerous. Even like hanging somebody. Like that... The fact that was out there, that's why they had to do it. But hey, you could still do that with a guy's shirt. They could grab a guy's shirt and rip it up and seriously harm him.
Not even a discussion.
Very unlikely. But...
Because this is not part of the uniform.
There was not even a discussion. Okay, you're lying. Because there was a discussion. Right? The discussion was, is this part of the uniform? No, it's not. End of discussion. So fucking Sepp Blatter, what a fucking
It was
liar.
much to the delight of the British press, including the Mail on Sunday, who...
Oh, the British press, the misogynist lads themselves.
Had, in their own words, led the way in exposing the Premier League's posers with a campaign, and had delighted in having named and shamed the fashion victims who made club shop managers happy, but only added to the questionable image of some of the game's most recognisable stars. And that was the end of the snood, never to be seen on a Premier League pitch again.
We'll see him in 5 years, in another year or two. They'll be coming back. But maybe they won't. I mean, they made a right point. They made a point with. Man, that'll fucking choke you. All right, we're moving on to Danny T Radio, and when Pro Rel is toxic.
Tag ProRel for USA.
Go check out Danny T Radio on Facebook. Tell him James sent you.
Is
spitting fire, by the way. James was spitting fire, but you guys know that.
Toxic.
Curious about
sometimes.
this. I don't watch a lot of Danny T radio, and I'm already seeing why. Oh, because he's awesome.
Nice knowing y'all. Because this ain't going to end well for me.
You look like you're, he looks like he's been shooting a Western. Looks like he's been an extra on Deadwood for the past 6 weeks. And here we go. But you know what? Danny T Radio is a good guy. Strikes me as a good guy. We'll see.
Now listen, I'm not saying the idea.
I'm just giving a little razz.
Because this ain't going to...
He's like, my name is Earl. He's the my name of Earl. My name is Earl of MLS.
End well for me. Now listen, I'm not saying the idea of promotion and relegation is toxic. I'm not even saying that wanting promotion and relegation in this country is toxic.
But there are bad faith actors who are absolutely toxic upon the internet who want Pro Rel USA. And also, the very same can be said for those who don't want on the same side who don't want, or on the other side of the token who don't want Pro Rel USA, who are just as vitriolic, just as like spitting evil venom everywhere they go. Just insanity.
I'm saying some of
Angus, are the Archduke himself saying a snood of the type of female headgear designed to hold the hair or the cloth of the yarn bag, in the most common form, the headgear resembles a close-fitting hood worn over the back of the head. Yeah, so in female soccer, you could still, right? They still get to wear a little thing around their head, right? They could wear that little snood around their head. They could essentially wear the bula around their head. They get ripped back, but at least it's not on their neck, creating this choking sensation, creating like a hangman effect, which they're essentially very worried about. Men who have the ability with strong weightlifting arms to just yank the fuck and choke somebody, and like literally take one of these things and you could yank a bone out of place in the neck and cause a neck break and kill a guy. So I understand what they're trying to do there. But for females, it seems like they already got a snood type on their head and they get away with it just fine. What about Gareth Bale with his bun?
Some of the people that are using this hashtag are doing way more harm than good.
Okay, he's leaning into a my name is Earl bit here. Because he sounds like it.
Now this is important. I encourage everyone to have an open mind about this. Go check out these people for yourselves, because
this is like my second or third time, maybe first time really watching Danny T Radio. Because I started to tune into this a dozen years of hell, the Chicago Fire retrospective, but I actually didn't watch the whole thing. We will watch the whole thing someday here on Spitting Fire, I believe. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow.
Who knows?
But who knows?
Maybe they say something that really resonates with you. Maybe you agree with them on these points. That's okay. We're all allowed to have our opinions here.
All right.
Thank you, Danny. Dude, see, I told you. There's something about Danny. I'm like, initially, just like my first read of the situation was like, good guy. Strikes me as a good guy. Solid, good read. And there, you just had it confirmed. Let's go.
Ben Fast.
Wait. Angus saying a snood. No, I already read that, Angus. I got so excited.
You're up first. Let's see what you got to say.
Keep the riz in your pants.
98% of USA's gigantic soccer fan market demographic has zero idea that today is even MLS Cup semifinal day.
That's so true. It's so horrifically true, guys. Let's just revisit what this young Blaine SC fan had to say.
You're up first. Let's see what you got to say.
98% of USA's gigantic soccer fan.
98% of USA soccer fan base.
Market demographic fan base. Zero idea.
Has zero. Made you look.
That today is even MLS Cup semifinal day.
I didn't give a fuck. But I tuned in. And I got to see that Gareth Bale goal.
That just goes to show you how big of a failure.
That just goes to show you that I am an MLS fan. God darn it! No! No! I'm an MLS fan. Oh, I'm tortured. Tortured soul. Thank you for joining us here at Spitfire, all you fellow tortured MLS fans.
The MLS McFranchise closed system experiment is
Whoa!
Whoa!
failure. The MLS McFranchise closed system experiment is
Whoa!
Whoa! Hold on.
today's even MLS Cup semifinal day. That just goes to show you how big of a failure the MLS McFranchise closed system experiment is.
Whoa!
The Mick franchise is what he calls it. And he says it's a failure. Do you guys agree that the MLS Mick franchise setup currently as structured is a failure? Do you guys believe that in the chat? When we look at teams like LAFC, Atlanta United, NYCFC, Toronto, Seattle, seem to be working as planned. But when you look at teams like Chicago, when you look at it's not San Francisco. Well, they don't have a team. Yeah, sure. So look for lack of a team there. But then on the other side of the token, look at the San Jose Earthquakes, which is the team I was trying to summon. They're just not competitive and don't plan on ever being competitive. And how can you blame the fans over in San Jose for not tuning into a product? Same thing over here in Chicago, where we've been without playoffs since 2017. And even before that, we really didn't have a hope. Even if we did make those playoffs, but we'll get into that later. Now let's find out what Danny has to say. I'm liking this.
Yikes! 98% of American soccer fans not aware of the MLS Cup semifinals going on? That's not good.
That is not good, if that's true. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is true. I mean, when I look at the Chicago Fire fan base, to me, it's like 6,000 to 20,000 people. It's more than that. It's 50,000 people, but how do you get any of those 50,000 people to give a damn on any given day? It's really hard. About the Chicago Fire, it's very hard. How do you get how many fans do you think are there for St. Louis FC right now, day 0? Because we're still at day 0 for St. Louis FC, and that I believe that's going to be Angus's team. Axe's team, I believe, is NYCFC. So let me know what you guys are standing. Angus, the Archduke himself, saying opinions are good. It's more effective if you are civil and use your mind instead of being closed-minded and overly emotional. I agree with Angus. Right now, I'm probably being a little bit more overly emotional and a little bit more closed-minded. Not really seemingly that, but I might be playing into a bit of that role right now as I play a little devil's advocate, so to speak, as we go through this. It's fun. And look at, we got Danny T Radio himself. Earl, my name is Danny.
But where are you getting these numbers from?
Guys, should I make a Danny T Radio style type of video? Literally, I mean, not verbatim, but pretty close. It's like react, facial reaction, and then comment. Book it. Kick that like button. Accent. Whoa. Just spitting fire. I don't know where you're coming with this NYCFC bullshit. Spitting fire. I don't know what I'm a fucking Fire season ticket holder at Toyota Park. Dagnab. I'm sorry, Axe. I did not know. Axe. I am so sorry, Axe. I thought you were an NYCFC guy. Here's what I'm thinking. I have another guy who has a similar name to yours. So I was thinking that you did NYCFC. But you're a Fire fan? But jaw drop for me, because I just learned that about you. That's awesome. Honestly, I was like, oh, it's Axe, the NYCFC guy. But now I've just literally new thread. Upload, download, pull out the cyanide capsule, enter in the new information. CIA packet, let's go. You were a season Fire ticket holder. Wow, we got a lot more in common than we thought. Both former Chicago Fire season ticket holders. Here.
I'm Googling it right now, and nothing's showing up. Can you give me a source, please?
Well, it's definitely not from
Okay,
the...
Danny, I'm going to disagree with you there. Now, I like the idea of sources, and I personally try to utilize good sources. However, I, as a person, recognize there is material out there which is unsourceable, right? Like, I could tell you who killed Kennedy, basically the truth, but I can't source it. Like, I could tell you where Atlantis is, basically the truth, and I can source it. I could source it to Plato. Okay, well, that's a good source. I mean, he's Plato's a good source, I would think, but Axane, I still remember, dude. I remember the Hristo Stoichkov, Peter Novak, Thornton days, Ante Razov days. Those were the days, the very first days when I went to a Chicago Fire game. I, of course, was still not yet in high school back in those days, but lucky enough to have my uncle take me out to Soldier Field in their very, very first season to get a glimpse of the Chicago Fire and a win, no less, in their winning season. There's something about me and Chicago sports winning seasons. Whenever there's a Chicago sports winning season of any sport, baseball, soccer, football, hockey, everything except basketball. You see the sadness within me about that. But everything else, I've been there the year the Cubs won, been here the year the White Sox won, been here every year that the Blackhawks won for the Stanley Cup. And it was like, in that season, you don't know they're going to win it all, but it's something special about going to a game in the season that they win it all. Now, I did not get that experience with the Bulls. However, I did get the experience to watch every single Bulls championship growing up, and at least remember really well the last three, or pretty decently the last three, especially the last two. But because as I was growing older, the first three I didn't really remember. I was too young. Axane, though, dude, Soldier Field, man, back in 96, before it even got redid, that was the best. Then they redid it in 2005 to 2008, and they totally blew the ball. They shit the bed horribly. Axane just missing the Bears right now, dude. Are you excited about the Bears though? The Bears are in perhaps the greatest position the Bears have been since the 1985 Super Bowl. They are in the greatest position that they have been since the 2007 Super Bowl run. This team, we have a quarterback in Justin Fields, right? Let's pull up the Bears. Just pull up the Bears real second. The Bears, guys. The Bears finally have hope. We got our quarterback in Justin Fields. However, we have the first overall pick, so we can go get the best quarterback in college right now. Anyway, stick him on our bench for the next 5 years. If I'm the Bears, okay, I'm the Bears. Let's play experiment, guys. What would you do if you're the Bears? You're sitting on the first overall pick. You want to trade back to the 4th overall pick, maybe to the Colts? Maybe pick up Pittman and the 4th overall pick and pick from there and go from back? I like that move. I like that move a lot. Get Pittman, wide receiver, top end wide receiver, plus a top. You're only moving three spots back. I like that a lot. And with that pick, probably picking some other picks up in addition, but with that pick, you could still get a top guy of any position, including quarterback. So maybe with the number 1 pick, they go with the best quarterback that they think is out there. They go with the Trevor Lawrence. But here's the thing. The next three quarterbacks off the board could be the wrong guys. And then 4th quarterback off the board that falls right into the Bears' lap is Justin Fields. That's what happened for the Bears. Do we, with a high draft pick, go after another quarterback? I don't think so. And it does seem like a bit of a redundant waste when we have seemingly something special here. But how special is Justin Fields, chat? Chat saying trade down. Chat saying trade down unequivocally. Don't even think about using the first overall pick. Trade down and get a haul. One thing that I think of, one of the most recent Bears games that I've been to was actually the Buffalo Bills preseason game versus the Bears. And I learned a lot about the Bears and a lot about the Bills that game. That was 2 years ago. In that game, it was a game Mitch Trubisky was still on the Bills. He actually moved to the Steelers last season. So 2 seasons ago, he's on the Bills. He's the backup to Josh Allen. Dude looked great. Dude looked great as a backup. Looked good as a backup, Mitch Trubisky. And the whole team, to a man, because they're playing with 80-man rosters back then in the preseason, was better than the Bears' top 80. Like, their top 80 was better than the Bears' top 30. The Bears' top 30 guys would have a tough time making it in to the Buffalo Bills' top 80. Think about that. That day, I was there. The top 30 guys for the Bears, every single one, there might have been 13 guys that would have made the Bills that day. 13 or less on an 80-man roster. 80 of them already filled out by Bills. You're going to have to cut 15 Bills to bring on those Bears. Maybe 15 Bears were good enough. That's how far away the Bears were. Bears have gotten 2 drafts in since then. They've made progress in choice spots too, in good spots. I'm excited about the Bears' potential. I'm excited about what Justin Fields could do. However, we got to really be realistic, guys. These teams that there are the final 4 best teams: Cincinnati, Kansas City Chiefs, 49ers, Dallas Cowboys. Those teams' top 53 are so good. So much better than the Bears' top 53. It would blow your mind. The Bears' top 20 players would have a hard time making it into Cincinnati's top 53. A hard time. They'd have an impossible time making it into Kansas City's top 53 or 49ers top 53. Unless there's injuries. There's always injuries in 49ers. But man, those are we got a good set of playoffs. In fact, let's real quick just go NFL schedule. I just want to real quick, just take a look at the schedule here. 49ers versus Eagles. I got the 49ers. Bengals versus the Chiefs. I got the Bengals because Mahomes is hurt. However, seeing Mahomes play hurt in that last game, jaw dropper. Dude's a stud. Dude's the best quarterback in the NFL. Dude is the best quarterback in the NFL. And what I mean by that is, like, he's already the number 1 quarterback when he could move, but then you take away something he could do. You take away one thing that he does well, and he's like, okay, I gotta adjust. And he adjusts, and he's still the best fucking quarterback in the NFL. Now, there was a time that was Aaron Rodgers. There was a time that was Tom Brady when they were young, and they were able to do it. But right now, man, it's Patrick Mahomes. Let me know who you guys think are your top 3 quarterbacks in NFL and why it's Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen as number 3. Unless you guys got a different guy, let me know.
MLS.
Back to Danny T.
The article that you wrote, that you shared 10 times.
Guys, by the way, I love my new style of streaming. I'm loving this. Like, where I could stop, comment, watch a little something, stop, comment, talk with you guys, just rip it, grip it, and rip it. I think we're onto something here, guys. Spread the word on menus nationwide. You part of the club?
Since the beginning of December, and yes, I am counting you retweeting your own tweet as sharing it twice. Hey man, I'm proud of my work too, but you want to write something else by now? In here, you state that as of the start of 2018, Major League Soccer captures just 6% of USA's total soccer TV viewership. And then you mention later on that 6% number is actually shrinking. I'm assuming those numbers are coming from this article here on World Soccer Talk. What I wish you would have included is that MLS games on national TV only make up about 7% of the total games broadcasted in this country. Look, I'm not saying 6% of total soccer TV viewership is impressive, but it's at least comparable to the amount of MLS games that are actually on TV. And yeah, it shouldn't be surprising that the number of USA's total soccer viewership is going to shrink a little bit in years where World Cup qualifying ramps up, and also in years with, the actual World Cup. A better measurement of success or failure of MLS on TV is to actually look at the TV ratings. Well, numbers...
No. Lie one. And what I say about that is, I don't know where they get the numbers. I don't know what bots they're paying, but some of this stuff does not pass the sniff test. I know, because I know the interest in Chicago Fire. I know the numbers. No. I know the search interest. I check. You could Google the search interest. Google Chicago Fire. And you're going to see so many hits because it's Chicago Fire, the TV show.
Have fluctuated over the years. Some years have been up, some down. It should be noted that ratings have been up the last 2 years.
Listen, Ben Fast is...
Do you guys have your concerns about the Apple TV deal impacting MLS ratings? I think MLS ratings will go down. However, I actually think that this MLS TV deal will be a net positive for MLS in the long run if they could bring in Leo Messi.
Is not wrong about MLS struggling with TV numbers. Right. MLS absolutely is not as popular as EPL or Liga MX or the USMNT in this country. And as a critic of MLS, he's smart to bring up those points. But I just don't think he's being very honest with the numbers. The statistics that he's sharing are either old or blatantly wrong. The article he keeps sharing is 4 years old at this point, and it should be noted.
Whoa. 4-year-old article. All right. There's sometimes where there are sometimes where a 4-year-old article or a 4-year-old YouTube video flies when it's that evergreen, right? But so much shit changes. They got biology books that from 2 years ago are out of date. Horrifically. To the point where it'll kill a person.
That MLS experienced a pretty good ratings boost in
Science changes and money talks. Whoa.
2022, ESPN and ABC were up 16% from the previous year, and this MLS Cup was the third most...
Chat. Do I pour another? Do I enable you to tell me? Today I do.
Watched MLS Championship in its history with 2.1 million viewers between Fox and Univision. So,
by the way, thank you to all you guys hitting that like button. Greatly appreciate you guys are the real G's. You appreciate it. This is so fun. You good?
His claim that 98
Earl, what's Earl saying? Earl Danny T Radio. And by the way, chat, I'm still waiting for the okay.
% of Americans.
And you're saying a 4-year-old article is way out of date. It's much more popular than just even 4 years ago back. You go back 4 years ago and how they were looking at soccer in the States was just still Stone Age material. Really, in the last 4 years, we've seen leaps and bounds development on this side. A lot of you guys here, I think we've seen that development and we've gone through it with them. We've grown as an audience. We've grown as watchers of soccer.
Soccer fans are not just watching the game, are not even aware of the game. Nah, I'm not buying it.
Now, obviously, soccer goes beyond just the TV numbers. So what does Ben have to say about the fans of MLS? In MLS, the cosplay hipster ultras incessantly bang drums behind the goal and sing out of tune, while the minivan suburban casual soccer fan demographic only stands up for corner kicks.
Okay, okay. Guys, this is the ultimate truth. I'm sorry. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this, but I think that this tweet right here hints at the ultimate truth of MLS audience. What is the MLS audience? Because soccer audience, the audience for EPL, the audience for European soccer, what is that audience in USA? And what is the audience for MLS? When I read this tweet from Ben Fast, who's arguably a very a lightning rod in the pro rel community, in MLS, the cosplay hipster ultras incessantly bang drums behind the goal and sing out of tune, while the minivan suburban casual soccer fan demographic only stands up for corner kicks. This hints at this is not the problem, the crux of the problem. This is the crux of the truth of the situation of every single soccer team in America. All right, guys? There are 3 types of fans for MLS soccer. One of them is the hipster ultras. The other of them is the casual soccer fan minivan people. And the third is MLS soccer fans. It's MLS fans, because they're a different breed than those hipsters. They're a different breed than the minivan suburban who are bringing out their kids, who go out and play the youth soccer, who are bringing their kids to the game. That is the MLS audience. Look at me. I would probably qualify if they had to put me in a category of the 3. I could be an MLS fan, but I also could fall into the hipster ultras category because I have a fucking YouTube channel. I got a fucking YouTube channel based about soccer and talk with you guys. Angus, the Archduke himself, saying very true. Gosh damn it, I agree. But so now that we've highlighted the audience, what is there? Is there something here for the investor? There's not enough here. There's not enough money here, guys. You got the parents who are all football fans, who are all Bears fans, who are all LA Rams fans, who are all Tampa Bay Bucks, New York Jets, even Indianapolis Colts fans, and their kids play soccer. So they'll take them to a Chicago Fire game or 2 during the season. They'll watch a couple games. Maybe they'll get MLS Plus if they got the money for it. Little tap. Peru. But that's the reality of the situation facing MLS. The majority of their fans are parents who are not interested in the product. They're there for their kids or for their loved ones, their friends, their family. Or 2, you got the hipster ultras. The hipster ultras who are hanging out, creating the SGs, who haven't been a part of a club in a long time, who sometimes lack a friend group, so they're seeking like a greater friend group. They've also learned how to be better humans. So now that they've learned how to socialize better, they're trying to re-socialize better and find humans that find similar things that they like to do, right? So what do? I don't know, right? At this point, if you're MLS, these are the two audiences. Where are the other audiences, guys? You tell me. You tell me. Right? Got a can of duster. Taking off the old PC. Saying I'm a minivan type fan. When I don't have the kids, I'm a who? Oh, time out. So you are no. You. This might be a fourth style of fan because I feel like I'm you. I feel like I'm with you, Axe. Axe saying he's a minivan type. When he doesn't have the kids, he turns into that hooligan Euro Trip style of fan. Like, I mean, out of Euro Trip. Great movie, by the way. Loud drinking and cheering and non-stop fuckery. Scotty doesn't know. That's a totally different movie. All right, I'm just fucking with you. All right, but back to it. In fact, but see, there's some truth to this. Most of these fans of MLS, I can separate you as an adult who's got kids who like soccer, or you are also a previous soccer player, maybe a soccer fan. Maybe you like Manchester United. Maybe you like Real Madrid. But me, that is kind of where I am too. But also, I want to support my local club. I want to support Chicago Fire. I want them to be better. I want them to be great. And when they go out and make $38 million worth of transfer deals, I take notice. However, the rest of Chicago soccer has not noticed. Maybe some of them who watch EPL have been like, oh, the Chicago Fire sold a guy for 18 million to 22 million to Aston Villa. And now they're thinking about Arsenal and Chelsea. And they're not thinking about the Chicago Fire or MLS ever again for the rest of the season. That's the problem with MLS. There's no narrative. There's no storyline. There's nothing that fucking grabs you by the navel and says, "Come with me," because you better, because you're going to see a spectacle. And when Gareth Bale was there, when Carlos Vela is there right now, that's spectacle, right? Gareth Bale, though, not being there. When Zlatan was there, spectacle. One second, chat.
Soccer fan demographic only stands up for corner kicks.
Do you not see the irony here, Ben? I mean, oh my God. You say no one's into MLS, but then you see a stadium full of fans being excited and your reaction is, oh, they're a bunch of cosplayers? First of all, who cares? Why are you being such a fun cop here? Like, let the fans have fun the way they want to have fun. And second of all, don't you think you're doing a little bit of gatekeeping here? You know, the thing you're accusing MLS of doing by being a closed system?
Listen, I have no issue with anyone choosing not to watch MLS. It's my favorite league, yeah, but I know it's not for everyone. And I know a lot of people hate the league simply because of the lack of promotion and relegation. Fine, like, I get why people are passionate about that. But Ben Fast says his goal is to make USA the greatest soccer nation in the world. And he doesn't do anything to try and do that, but shit on MLS. Case in point, 2020...
Sorry, chat. I was just talking to perhaps my favorite human on the planet. My number one. My number one. Let's go. Anyway, Axe saying MLS is like the NBA in a way. By the way, everybody, call your loved ones, call your mom. If you can, text your mom, text your grandma, or your or your dad, or your grandpa, if you are able, or text your brother, or your sister, or your loved one, or your wife, whatever. Just let them know you love them. Always a good thing. Always a good thing. By the way, back to it. Sorry. Axe saying that MLS is like NBA in a way. Oh, dude, NBA is drama. MLS is like NBA in a way. Teams that don't have star power just can't compete. They struggle on the field. No one wants to watch a crappy MLS team and then have the problems of generating revenue on top of that. Dude, Axe, you are so right. That's one of the major problems I think affecting MLS teams. Now, the NBA teams, I think, actually have it easier than MLS teams. All right, first of all, look at a team like Memphis. Memphis has one of the best players in the NBA in Ja Morant. It's incredible. There's other teams that are small market teams that have the best players, some of the best players in the MLS and the NBA. I mean, look at Milwaukee. They have the best player in the NBA, and that is precisely the reason that they ended up winning an NBA championship within the last 3 years. So MLS doesn't, when you say it's like NBA in a way, it is. However, NBA has solved for that problem that MLS has. How do you get a team interested in Oklahoma City in the NBA? Yeah, they have Kevin Durant at the time. They have Russell Westbrook at the time. They have new talent now. How do you get a team interested in Kansas City Wizards? Who the fuck? Who the fuck's the Kansas City Wizards? Kansas City, it's the, you guys know what I'm talking. It's Kansas City MLS team, but that they used to be the Wizards. But the fact of the matter is, like, no one cares. But if you brought Ronaldo, if Kansas City had brought Ronaldo, SC Kansas City, Sporting Kansas City had brought MLS, had brought Ronaldo, everyone, so many people in the US would have known about Sporting Kansas City. Why? Because of the spectacle. It's spectacle. Spectacle sells in MLS. NBA doesn't have to rely on spectacle because the spectacle is sold in the star player. That star player sells the spectacle, the Ja Morants, what have yous, right? And the same thing is true of soccer. And some teams know it. I mean, when Chicago Fire brought in Bastian Schweinsteiger, a lot of people, a lot of fans, soccer fans in Chicago, their dicks got real hard. Then they came and saw Bastian Schweinsteiger play, and their dicks got real soft because they saw him play and they realized, oh shit, he don't have it anymore. We're not seeing the Bastian Schweinsteiger of old. We're not even seeing a ghost of the Bastian Schweinsteiger of old. Hey guys, we did not see a glimpse of a ghost of the Bastian Schweinsteiger of gold. Go look up Bastian Schweinsteiger's old goals from far out, and then look up how many of those have for Chicago Fire. Not a one. His most famous goal in Chicago Fire jersey was a header. A header. His first goal for the club. That was his most famous goal. I thought he was going to get one from like midfield. I'm still waiting for Shaqiri to get one. But MLS is like NBA in that small market team, but the small market teams in MLS have yet to figure it out. I mean, in San Jose, they had one of the best coaches in MLS in Almeida, but they didn't do anything with it. They didn't go out and get a guy to make Almeida's system work and to put them on the map of international soccer, because they're not. MLS is not just competing against the NFL, against the MLB, against NHL. They're competing against the EPL, La Liga, Liga MX, and all these fucking leagues are so much more fun to watch. It's a big problem for me as an MLS fan who wants my local league to do better, who wants the U.S. men's national team to do better, who, like you, wants to watch better soccer, and I do when I get to watch EPL or Champions League, right?
MLS Super Draft. Nashville SC had the second
How do we
overall
fix
pick,
that?
and they
How do we
selected
fix that in America? Is it with ProRel USA? I don't know.
to Jack Mayer. And in one of the coolest, most heartwarming moments in MLS history, Nashville decided to send its supporters by bus to surprise the draft pick on the front yard of his own home.
Okay, that's cool. Nashville doing quality things right there. Nashville wants to be an MLS club. Nashville's ownership wants it. Chicago Fire's ownership, it's a tax write-off. It's a tax write-off. It's a tax write-off. And until they produce better results, I won't believe anything else otherwise. Yes, they produced $37 million worth of transfer fees, but how many trophies in the last 5 years?
Jack Mayer's dream of becoming a pro soccer
That
player
wasn't a JD Power Trophy awarded by a corporation because they paid for it.
realized, and he got to celebrate with his new supporters who made him feel welcome on day one. What an unbelievable scene. And what does Ben Fast comment? Stay woke, USA
First off,
soccer fans.
Look at this guy. Those eyes are too big. Creepy.
Fast comment.
Creepy.
Stay woke, USA soccer fans. Oh, thank God he shared that article.
Get him
again.
out.
I really needed to read it again.
Dude, we get it, okay? You don't like MLS. That's fine. But time and place, man. Seriously. Like, you don't see me bringing up the gun control debate at my grandma's funeral during the eulogy, because that's probably not the best time to do that.
All right, dude. Earl gets it. Guys, chat. Earl fucking I'm talking about Danny. I like Danny.
Like,
This is like my second video watching. I watched a part of this, the first minute of A Dozen Years of Hell, Chicago Fire. We'll watch that another one, but right now we're watching Pro Rel with Danny.
let the kid have his day.
By the way, check his channel out on Danny T Radio.
Hey, what'd he do to you? You don't have to comment on everything MLS posts. I promise you, your fans would have been fine if you just would have skipped this one. It just gets to a point where it's obnoxious. Like, push for Pro Rel.
Look at that chin, guys.
Fight for what you believe.
Look at this chin. This is a chin that goes places. Look at this chin. Look at it. Come on, Dan. There. Oh no, that was the one.
Probably not the best time to do
Come
that.
on, here it is.
Like,
There it is. Look at that. Look at that chin. This is a dude.
let the kid have his day. What'd he do to you? You don't have to comment on everything MLS posts. I promise you, your fans would have been fine if you just would have skipped this one. It just gets to a point where it's obnoxious. Like, push for Pro Rel. Fight for what you believe in.
Right.
But this player's gonna have zero impact on the Pro Rel landscape in this country. Why are you taking your anger out on him or the fans by calling them
Sorry to cut you off there, Danny. I gotta let Danny talk here. Dude, I like talking with Danny. Danny, a funny guy. But he
on him or the fans by calling them cosplayers? Hate on MLS all you want, but when you do it like this, I promise you, we have a hard time taking you seriously.
and trust me, a lot of us MLS fans, we appreciate great MLS hate. We appreciate fantastic MLS criticism. We truly do. Because we MLS fans, we are looking at this league critically and we were like, how do we get this league better? How do we improve this league? How do we get more narratives on the league in the story? How do we get more narratives into Twitter? How do we get more people caring and clicking? How do we get more ears listening to MLS soccer content? That's what MLS fans do, like me and Danny. But also at the same time, when people criticize MLS, we're like, I'm all ears. But when we're all ears, we critique the critique.
Okay, next up, Ted Westerfeld, aka Soccer Reef.
Ted Westerfeld. He's retweeted me a few times because I like Pro Rel for USA. I think it would help. the U.S. soccer system. I don't know if it fixes the U.S. soccer system, but some of these pro rel for people like Ted, man, I've seen them get absolutely really mean to other people. They haven't been mean to me. In fact, they've been nice to me. But man, I've seen them be weird, a little weird to other people, but they have a point. They're trying to prove their point. Oh, that pro rel's right. But at the same time, the other person is just a person. It's not Carlos Cordero. It's not the president of MLS it's not Cindy Cone, president of US Soccer on the other side with the power to change things. It's a person whose opinion you could change. Yeah. And that will help. But when you abuse them to the point that they're like, nah, dude, you're a psychopath, you might have lost somebody.
Form on Twitter. Yeah.
You might have lost an ally, potential ally.
Mr. Feld, aka Soccer Reform on Twitter. Yeah. Soccer Reform. A little on the nose there, huh, Ted?
Yeah, he is a little on the nose.
Like Ben, Ted doesn't like MLS. And like Ben, he makes sure you know
so
about
Ben
it.
doesn't like
Here's
MLS because I know Ted doesn't, and Ben doesn't like apparatuses. There's some truth to that. I feel like though, this guy Ted, he is really into. The funny thing about these people, we all know them. We've seen their tweets. And every once in a while they got a good idea, and then every once in a while they got a real like doozy of one where it's like, no, you're kind of lost the screws. 1, 2, 3, that 4 screws loose that I could see visually. I can only wonder about what's underneath the deck, and I don't want to wonder, and I don't even want to ask that type of question. Thank you very much.
About it. Here's an old tweet from March 2019 that I saved on my phone. Today in American professional soccer. Stadium half full? Call it 70,000 plus. Yeah, that stadium does look pretty empty, all right.
No, look at that. No fucking way. 70,000? See, there's some sort of... If this picture is remotely true, something fishy. Something a little fishy about MLS, guys. Gotta say. When you look at this, look at an NFL stadium. I've seen NFL stadiums look like this in preseason. And I've seen them look like that during sometimes the season as well, but far less so. Well, in an MLS stadium, this is a lot more regular of a occurrence. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta get ice.
Definitely not a good look for Atlanta or MLS. But wait a minute. Let's zoom in on this picture. Do you notice anything missing? Like, where's the other team? They're nowhere to be found. Why? Because they're in the locker room. Because it's halftime. Yeah, Ted sent a picture of halftime. What do people do at halftime? They get food. They go to urinate. They leave their seats. One of the responses to this tweet was another picture during the second half, and I know it's a little blurry, but that stadium looks pretty damn full to me.
Now let's give him the benefit of the doubt, because maybe he was just mistaken. Maybe he wasn't aware that it was halftime. That's okay. I've tweeted out some dumb things before. I put my foot in my mouth before, but I'd like to think that I can at least acknowledge my mistake.
Guys, this is a quasi-bachelor party. Chat, it's a quasi-bachelor party. I mean, I already had one with the boys, but I'm just saying with you guys, it's a quasi-bachelor party. Oh, you know what? I'm changing the stream name. It's a bachelor party. It's a bachelor party. Let's go. Hey, it's in. That is not 70K. Okay, it's halftime, at least in the picture. But if you're telling me half the stadium, I don't believe half the stadium is truly up and about, but maybe it's true. Maybe it's true.
One of the responses to this tweet was another picture during the second half, and I know it's a little blurry, but that stadium looks pretty damn full to me.
Now let's give him the benefit of the doubt, because maybe he was just mistaken. Maybe he wasn't aware that it was halftime. That's okay. I've tweeted out some dumb things.
By the way, chat, sorry if I went back in time on you and you're a little annoyed. Thank you for dealing with me. And cheers! Because I just changed the name of the video. It's a bachelor party. It's a bachelor party. Thank you for joining us here on Spit and Fire. About to make this a Spit and Fire official. Exciting time. Oh no. I'm gonna have to drink water. Guys. Like, there's just no way around it.
Before I put my foot in my mouth before, but I'd like to think that I can at least acknowledge my mistake. And when someone pointed this out, silence. Zero response from @soccerreform. And this is a guy that's tweeted almost 400,000 times. Damn.
Look at that. 400,000 thoughts. Publicly. A lot more than that privately.
Damn. Seriously, damn, that's impressive numbers right there. Like, my wife thinks I tweet too much. And a lot
Congrats.
of those tweets are replies, because Ted loves getting into it with MLS fans on Twitter. So, no, I'm not buying that he didn't see this tweet of a full stadium. I just don't think it worked with his agenda, so he didn't bother on commenting.
Ted is not the first guy to question the attendance numbers from MLS. And I get it. A lot of people think it's misleading to use tickets sold and not, actual people showing up to the game as the measurement for attendance. And there are plenty of markets you can look at and say, that's not good enough. But Atlanta is not one of them. Regardless of what you think about MLS and if they should have promotion and relegation or not, you can't say that Atlanta doesn't bring impressive numbers. I just think this strategy is really weird by Ted here. Like, instead of trying to convince us that Atlanta doesn't actually have fans, which, come on.
I don't know. I just think a more
First off, Atlanta's got more fans than Chicago. More current fans, anyway. That Marty?
You can't say that Atlanta doesn't bring impressive numbers. I just think this strategy is really weird by Ted here. Like, instead of trying to convince us...
Yes. Thank you, Danny. The strategy by Ted is weird.
...that Atlanta doesn't actually have fans, which... come on.
I don't know. I just think a more convincing talking point would be to say, hey, look at this. Don't you want this everywhere? Because there are plenty of passionate...
But that's not how it always is. And look at that. And soccer, I'm sorry. This? Like, you can't... Soccer is not exciting enough to get Americans out like this, guys. And you want to make it exciting enough? I got one change for you. NHL styled substitutions. Every guy's available. Every guy in your bunch is available. Just like in a rec league game. Why the fuck not? Why is there any artificial limit? It's stupid! If you disagree, let me know in the comments. I don't mind. Because I could be very wrong. I've talked with former soccer pros, former people who've won MLS Cup as a coach and as a player about the merits of substitutions and how I think there should be more of them. They thought their 3 was perfect. I thought it should be unlimited. Your whole bench should be allowed. And but once they've been used, all right, they're off. However, right now, with a little bit of black steel in me, I truly am thinking I mean, that's the moment. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm truly think always, but I think that subs should be always available. Like, if I have Cristiano Ronaldo on my bench, I should be able to put him out for 4 minutes in the first half and 20 minutes in the second half if I want him to. Why do I have to have your arbitrary limits? Why does my team that I spent the money on that I have to obey your arbitrary rules? Does that make it fairer? No, because the other team has spent money on their guys to have those guys available. What if somebody on their bench is the difference in the game? Why am I supposed to be afraid of that as a coach, a player, a fan, an executive? Why am I supposed to put some sort of artificial governor on that? There's no reason that substitution should be limited and not always on, just like hockey style. It's absolute stupid. And what you will get with hockey style substitution, pressure players. Also, more destroyed players. Player just got destroyed, take him off. Bring on a fresh guy. And he could go maybe score another goal. Ooh, we don't want goals? What, we want boring, goalless draws? What the fuck is wrong with you? We want goals. We don't want boring, unless you want boring. And, you know, maybe nothing's wrong with you. You just want boring, and you've had too much excitement in your life, so it's like boring suits you. See? But guess what? I don't want boring MLS. I don't want boring Chicago Fire. I don't want boring soccer games. I want goals. I want scoring. I want opportunities. I want strategy. And what causes strategy? One word, and it starts with a P. It's really big. Oh, it's so big. You know what that P word is, right? Chat. I'll give it a moment. Just give you one moment to think about the P word. Queen wrote about it. Queen the band. Am I throwing too many hints? Under pressure. Under pressure. Pressure. P. Pressure. Pressure is what makes games. Pressure is what makes narratives. Pressure is what creates ESPN moments, right? Those highlight reels. Pressure. How do we create more pressure? Fresh men, fresh players, constantly being available at your disposal. As a coach, I got 7 to 9 subs on my bench that I could put in all 9 right now on a dead ball, and then I could take them out in the next minute. Think about the chaos and the havoc you could wreak. Think about the goals you could score. That'd be so magical. We're denying ourselves this because soccer is run by a bunch of fucking sadomasochists, guys. Sado-fucking-masochists. You ever see that movie with the hooks, right? Hellraiser. You ever see Hellraiser? That is the MLS board. They are nothing but the fucking Cenobites, just like hooks in their titties all the way into the private parts, just like little weird sexual craziness, little sexual orgies and all that kind of shit. That's what the fucking board of MLS is, allegedly. And they have no interest in making MLS competitive. They just want sex parties and orgies and wine and chromium. And whatever the fuck that Hunter S. Thompson was into. That's what they want. Whoa.
Soccer cities around this country that you won't ever know about because they don't have a fair opportunity to getting promoted up to the first division, which
exactly
you do.
And that's how we started there.
You kind of say that, you just refuse to give credit to the cities that are actually doing it because
Angus, the Archduke himself, saying that this is the better way to create goals. That never happened when the soccer world decided to award 3 points instead of 2. Actually, Angus, you had a good point. I tweeted out something about NHL, and Angus had felt a little differently about it. But what was interesting, so NHL, the way that they've decided to said no more ties. We do shootouts with 3. We'll go to overtime, and then after overtime, we'll do a little shootout. And I saw somebody have the gallbladder to say, hey, when these hockey players do unhockey like things to settle the game, I don't like it. And then I, an ex-hockey player, am looking at the shootout. I'm like, okay, where's the unhockey like thing? Okay, he's got the puck on the ice. He's got a shot on the goal. Okay, where's the unhockey like? Where's the unhockey like action? Does he pick the ball up and throw it like a football into the goal? Does he get to pick the ball up and kind of just like carry it and run at the goalkeeper and try and run at the goal and try and rugby it and smash it in? No, he plays fucking hockey to score on the goalie to finish the game in a sudden death overtime. However, full context, I have won games back in Pee Wee hockey, back in the 90s, via the shootout. I won the game. I was the last shot that went in. It was so awesome. So, long story short, play hockey. The first 3 shooters went, and one of them scored. The other team scored. It's tied up. We send up our 4th shooter. It's me. I proceed to have the slowest penalty shot known to mankind. Yes, there's 15 seconds on the clock. I used all 15. I mean, I might be the reason why they now have a clock for the penalty shot. Maybe they started the year after I did that. But man, triple deke, open net, because they faked the goalie out of his pads, put him to sleep. Jumps out at me, and I just right in the middle of my 3rd deke. Oh, I hear Mrs. Spinfire, so I'm gonna be start closing down the stream here soon. Mrs. Spinfire, will do soon. And right in the middle of my triple deke, I'd planned. I'm like, I'm gonna do 3 dekes, and in the middle of the 3rd deke, that's when the goalkeeper went to sleep and jumped out at my 3rd deke, and I'm like pulling it back, and I'm like, oh well, Lottie freaking da. Look at this. Look at them apples. Wide open goal. Like, I just skate around the goalkeeper because he leaped out at me. Bury it in the back of the net. Put us up in the shootout. The other team gets a chance, and our goalkeeper comes up huge. I get smothered. The goalkeeper gets smothered. We win the game and go on to the championship game and win the championship. That was awesome. But shootout in sports, in hockey, it's hockey shit. It's hockey stuff. I'm stick handling the puck with the goalkeeper. I got to put the goalkeeper's got a good chance to stop me. He's got just as much advantage. We have different advantages at different times during the penalty shot, and it all evens out. That's why I like penalty shots, and I don't know if that needs to happen to soccer, though. Do soccer need to eliminate ties? Does soccer need to have shootouts, essentially, and get rid of ties? I don't know. I don't find myself truly upset at soccer ties. I like the result in NHL. I like that there's a winner. Do I need that in MLS? Do I need that in soccer? In a non-playoff situation? I don't necessarily need it in a non-playoff situation. However, what Angus brought up is that NHL, they do 2 points for a win. Or let me change. How many points for a win? How many points for a win NHL? Let me just source that real quick. Yes. So if a team wins a game, they're awarded 2 points. If they lose in overtime or in a shootout, they receive 1 point. So they still get the 1 point for the tie if they lose in overtime or a shootout. If you win in overtime or shootout, you get the full 2 points, right? A loss in regulation, though, does not earn any points. So if you don't lose in regulation, you get a tie, you get a point. But then a winner of the game still gets 2 points. I like that, Angus. I like that. There's something about that system that makes sense, and it seems to seemingly award the best teams. However, I saw an article about the LA Kings being wrongly awarded a playoff spot in this recent year. So something to think about.
Because
Little wrinkle.
they play in a league you don't like. Yeah, I just gave you a better strategy for pushing Pro Rel. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Now, I absolutely believe that if you want to have a big audience, if you want people to hear your message, you gotta be a bit shameless. You have to be able to take criticisms.
Chat saying that I'm fine with draws in soccer. There's a better way to create goals, though. That never happened when the soccer world decided to award 3 points instead of 2 points. The intention was to create more goals. Well, if they want to create more goals, then they got to get rid of ties. Get rid of ties. Literally, a team is rewarded for tying right now. In the NHL system, they don't really get that reward as much. They're still punished in the NHL system. See? Do you see what happens? In the NHL system, someone is still punished. Typically in a game in an NHL, 2 points is awarded, but sometimes 3 points can be awarded in an NHL game because the person who has tied the game and brought it to overtime, they'll eke out the game with 1 point, which is great, right? They get credit in a way for like some credit, right? You didn't win the game, you didn't lose it, but you did lose it later out of not in regulation. So it's like, but regulation.
With a grain of salt and just keep moving on. And honestly, I never thought it was possible to be too shameless. Until now.
Grant Wall, probably the most prominent soccer writer this country has ever seen, sadly passed away December 10th, 2022, while covering a World Cup quarterfinal.
Well, I just got real serious there because they're bringing up Grant Wall right now. And that was so sad. That whole situation was so sad during the World Cup. Hearing about the passing of Grant Wall, the way it kind of developed, some of the conspiracies that came out of it, and that fans were leaping to. And I was saying, I was saying, guys, don't go there yet. Wait. I tried to come out and say that on the Twitters. My brother, my little brother, came out and tried to say that because people were going crazy on Grant Wall with conspiracy theories about why he died. And we live in this topsy-turvy world where everybody has an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, right? And me and my brother, I gotta say, we got a very varied opinion. You'd be surprised. But some of the stuff we were hearing about Grant Wall was absolute cockamamie. And sure enough, we said wait. And as we waited, more information came out. More information came out about what happened, what progressed, what was the issues. And a lot of those crazy people turned out to be wrong. And we wait and see people turned out to be like, hey, this is why you wait and see. And you're wasting your time and our time when you leap to those. Sometimes there's times where conspiracies and things are warranted, and you wonder, right? Especially when the guy's brother comes out and says, "Hey, I think there's foul play involved." When that comes out, you're like, "All right, first let's take a look," and then you take a step back. Time develops, things happen, evidence collects, and the true picture develops with time.
In Qatar. While Grant Wall did have his critics, everyone was in shock over the news.
All that said, cheers to a great man and a great soccer writer, Grant Wall.
And just about everyone was deeply saddened by this. Because even if you didn't agree with everything he said, it was hard to deny the impact he had.
Notice the shirt? All for him wearing that shirt at World Cup. He got kicked out because of that shirt, and that's why some of the conspiracies developed. They thought that he made the wrong enemies. And a lot of us were like, I don't. We hopefully he didn't make the wrong enemies, and maybe he did, but that's hopefully not the reason for this. And it might be other things. Might be real issues that were internal that a doctor would have to oversee, and not some freaking secret agent like these freaking sycophants were saying.
Had on the game in this country. Absolutely brutal news about Grant Wall. Shocking. Thoughts go out to his family. I was looking forward to engaging with him for years to come.
That's weird. I was looking forward to engaging with him for you. Well, of course, I guess you're looking forward to engage with anybody in the soccer world. This guy, but I don't know. This is a weird comment. This is weird. And who's liking this shit? Guys, knock it off.
Very respectful message by Ted.
Respectful.
But then he just had to turn it into a conversation.
Respectful? Respectful? It's selfish. It's not respectful. It turned it into about him. It starts respectful, and then it ends into it ends up about Ted. The tweet ends up about Ted. The tweet's not about Grant. This tweet is about Ted, and that's a problem. Danny, you're misreading this one here, but I agree with most of your assessment here so far. But this guys, there's something wrong here. This person's a weirdo.
But then he just had to turn it into a
That's the best. That is the best. Right there. Fuck around, find out, GIF. Oh my gosh, yes. But it happens.
Conversation point.
And be careful.
About ProRel. Responding to another tweet, Ted said he was on the right path.
What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this sicko? Nope, that's gross. There's something wrong. Connor! What is up, brother? Connor saying, only question I have is that will people be able to see my email if I tweet it out in the Ninvention to view link? Don't know what an Ninvention. Clarify, Connor. Tweet me on the DMs. Just tweet me. Ask a question on the DMs. Unless you want to talk it out on the Discord call I only have a few minutes left here, guys. I'm gonna be shutting it down a little bit earlier today. Appreciate you guys joining us on Spit and Fire, kicking that like button, hitting that bell icon for notification. Special day here for Spit and Fire. I'm gonna be signing off a little bit early. It's one of my last nights as a bachelor. But truthfully, gonna go spend some time with Mrs. Spit and Fire before she officially becomes Mrs. Spit and Fire. Let's go. Let's go. Go, guys. That's right. All right, sorry. Let's go. Here we go.
Shared an old tweet of Grant Wall saying, seriously, so tired of MLS being crap.
Nice, Ted. Real nice.
I actually remember when Grant Wall said this. It was in response to Sporting Kansas City, the last MLS team alive in the 2019 CCL.
They're bad.
Getting absolutely bitch smacked by Monterey, and basically
getting dick smacked. Getting dick smacked by Monterey. Yes, that is essentially what happened. 5-0 trouncing. Connor, I'm still trying to understand your question here. Only question I have is that will people be able to see my email? No, they shouldn't be able to see your email typically. I mean, unless you're like including your email in some sort of tweet or some sort of email out there. I mean, they usually, or on, I guess on YouTube, if you click the information, we all have like every YouTuber has like get a hold of us here at a certain email. And it doesn't have to be the email that you actually created the YouTube with. So keep that in mind. Connor saying it will be the third question in the DMs. I'll check it out, Connor. But I will check it out I will check it out off stream. But if you want to talk soccer, you want to talk a little other things, feel free to slide into the Discord. We're hanging out for a few more minutes.
Eliminating them in the first leg. And as an MLS fan, yeah, that was a bad night.
Dude, what is with this trend of people tweeting out like you beating up a TV? Are you proud that you now have to pay $200 to $1,500 for a new TV to either your friend or yourself? I saw the one tweet the other day, like somebody was beating out the crap out of a 32-inch TV, and another person tweeted out like, "Man, how brutal that they had to watch that playoff game on a 32-inch TV." But what is with these fucking idiots punching these TVs? Like, it's pathetic, in my opinion. There's a patheticness that there. It's a display. It's obviously some sort of show. But what are you really showing? Are you showing that, oh, I care so much about the team that I'm willing to destroy this object that cost someone so much money that I'll have to fix? Or you're a fucking moron that got so emotional in a game that doesn't fucking even matter in the long scheme of things to your life at all. At all. There could have been something you were doing tonight instead that would have made you not care about this event at all. You could have been on a cruise with your loved one. You could have been in Cambodia hunting lions. You could have been in Europe in the Swiss ice bar or the ice bar in Sweden hanging out. You could have been at a rave in Thailand. You could have been in Cuba on a cruise boat. Somewhere where you didn't care about this game and you would have never cared about it. But here you are, because you're on a camera in front of your friends, punching a television to the point where it breaks, smashes, is unusable. Your knuckles, you might have to go to the hospital. You might have a broken bone. Who knows? For what? For what? For this invisible thing called clout? What clout are you getting? I have now labeled you a psychopath. I now realize I don't want to spend any time alone with this person. I don't want to sports with this person. I don't want to. This is absolute insanity. I hear DPG. About? I'm talking about dealing with a person who punches the TV when their sports thing goes wrong. That they're so wrapped up in it that they've ruined the experience for everybody. I don't know. They've taken the experience of everybody's and they've almost made it their own. I got DPG sliding into the DMs. What's up, DPG? I'm just spitting a little fire.
I mean, if you're that pissed off to break your own TV, then you should probably go seek some professional help.
There's there's a lot of truth to that.
I think at that point you probably have some anger issues and you need to get some help. And because no sane person will get that upset and punch a TV. Because if you could do that to a TV, what's stopping you from doing it to an actual person? That piss you off.
1000% DPG. That's why my thought process is, if I see you doing that to a TV, I'm like, why do I want to be around this person? Because they could do that to a person because they don't. Their value system is skewed.
Yep.
But anyway, that was my little diatribe. I got a few minutes left here. I don't have long left, DPG, because I'm getting married this week.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. I'm so excited. But so I was gonna be signing the podcast off a little early today, but I'll hang out for a little bit more to hear what you got to say.
I only have a few minutes also. I went out for dinner. Yeah, I went out for dinner for the wife's birthday anyway, so
congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy birthday to the wife.
Yep. So I don't know if it's I don't know if it's just me, but it's been a very boring off season so far for the Fire. We did manage to sell Duran and make a nice chunk of change, but in terms of players coming in, all I've seen is Chicago Fire 2 players coming in, Death players coming in. No, I don't see any potential guys that could break the lineup. Maybe except for our new right back, but that's about it.
$37 million in transfer fees. Before we even get to the add-ons. We're talking 37, between 32 and 37 million before we get to the add-ons. And you're asking, where are the signings?
Yeah, we have all this. We have a big chunk of change. Why are we not spending it? Why are we not throwing it around the league get some more players. Buy down contracts, get another DP, get whatever you need, a U22 player. It's mind-boggling that preseason already started and we're not making any moves. Like, what's going on? I mean, around this time last year, we signed Shaqiri. I haven't heard anything else this year so far. It's been quiet.
We haven't heard anything on par. And the funny thing is, DPG, they got a DP available, a DP spot available. But however, would you rather them fill in a spot, the DP spot, with some weird guy you've never heard of from Brazil this window, this January window, or would you rather hear Robert Lewandowski's name announced in May?
You know what? The thing is, at this point, we need to sign a DP now. We're basically
You're saying now. You're saying screw the May.
Do we want to hit the ground running at the start of the season, or do we want to pull the same thing we pulled last season and hit the ground running in the summer?
But DPG, so you're saying we need a DP level, a third DP level to do that, because we don't have trust in Hyro.
And here's the thing: is this whole DP signing or waiting till the summer? You could work stuff out now to get that player early, if possible.
Right. You can maybe get them out early, right? Kind of pay a little extra, and maybe they don't stay. They stay a couple games for their team they're with, but they still leave early for the Fire, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So they could literally sign someone that's available for free agency in the summer window. They could probably work out something with their current club to get them released early for them to join the team now.
And we've seen that from the Fire. We've seen them do that before.
Exactly. So it's not this whole thing, oh yeah, but let's wait till the summer. Why are we going to wait for the summer? In the summer, it's the middle of the season. That literally is the time where it could either make or break a team. And we saw that with the Fire. We literally squandered, we went on a 10-game losing streak last year in the spring.
In the middle of the season, I thought that's kind of when the Fire started hot.
Yeah. They started hot for the first 4 games, 4 or 5 games, and after that, they just took a nosedive.
Yes,
and those 10 games, that's what caused us the playoffs. Had we won some of those games,
2, 3,
we would have been in the playoffs. But
they would have been in the playoff hunt. They would far more than they were. But that floundering, DPG, you're hitting upon the true crux of the issue there. Last season, they had 2 of those types of just horrible runs that they couldn't dig themselves out of.
And the thing is like, fine, it was Ezra's first year. This season, I don't want to hear any excuses.
Okay,
you go out there and win. You don't tell me, oh, we're not supposed to. We had 30 shots on goal, but we're supposed to win games like that. I don't want to hear it. You had a whole season to get it together. I don't want to hear those same excuses. I don't want to hear how pissed off you are. I want you to get that team to win and hold on to games and win. As much as I like Ezra, if he comes up with the same BS again this season, it's like that. Maybe you're not cut out to be a head coach. Because head coaches make changes. They make drastic changes as they have to sometimes. No team, especially in MLS, should go through a 10-game winless streak.
No good team.
No decent team.
No decent team. No team that's making the playoffs.
Who wants to go to the playoffs? The only time that a 10-game winless streak is actually okay is in baseball. But that's because they play 100 and something games.
168 games.
Exactly. 168 games. They have that flexibility. We don't have that flexibility. 10 games without a win, that's horrible. And even worse is
without
when
a
you're
point,
winning,
I thought.
Yeah. And even worse is when you're winning games and you're squandering them. You let the other team breathe. And they come back. And
You
they
can't.
Win.
You can't let the other team breathe. You gotta teach that finishing in your players, and we didn't see that in the Chicago Fire. We never saw finishing. You only see that at the top of MLS, and the Chicago Fire are nowhere near the top.
We had no one that was a consistent finisher.
So because
Even
of that,
Duran.
because we're nowhere near the top, what's the realistic expectations next year, DPG?
If they need to sign, they need to make signings. They need to bring guys that want to win, that could score, that have a proven track record.
We got Shaqiri. He's got a proven track record. In fact, he was more successful in goal scoring and assisting than Gareth Bale last year, and had a better World Cup because Gareth Bale didn't make it to the round of 16 and retired. I wonder what we're going to get in Shaqiri this year. Is it going to be similar or better or worse than what we got last year? Where do you see it?
That's the biggest question right there is, okay, fine. Last year you were preparing for the World Cup. And
he was okay. He gave us goals. He gave us this, but he also gave us quite a few games where he tapped out. He tapped out early, which we knew was going to happen because, hey, he's preparing for the World Cup. But if we see that this season, what does that say?
My thing is, if now that the motivation for World Cup is gone, we have to find out what kind of player we're getting back. Are we going to get some guy that's here to collect the check? Or are we going to get a guy here that wants to keep playing, that wants to win, and wants to make this team better?
Or do we get a guy who's wanting to go back to Europe at the soonest
offer? Or he wants to go back to Europe. Yeah, maybe he didn't like MLS. He wants to go back to Europe. We don't know. That remains to be seen. So far, from the few training clips that have been posted by the Fire, he seems like he wants to play. He seems he seems dedicated, but it's only preseason. We haven't gone through the whole grueling season yet. So that remains to be seen. But at the same time, there's a lot of expectation on Jairo. Is he gonna play like the player that he was in Atlas?
Is he gonna earn that DP contract?
Exactly. Or is he gonna earn that DP contract? Or is he just gonna be a bust? Because if he's a bust, we're in trouble. That means that if he doesn't play, or meet expectations, we're going to be relying so much on Chris Mueller. They're going to be triple teaming this guy. We're not going to get anything done. They're going to be double teaming Shaqiri. We're not going to get anything done. And if we don't have a striker, we're not going to score goals.
And we can't rely on Kasper Przybyłko. That's what we know. We know we can rely. He could be a backup of sorts, but he is not a starter.
Nope,
Chat's saying that they're rooting for Gaga tonight, even though he's in a team and he's from Illinois. Gaga playing in the U.S. youth soccer, I believe.
Yeah,
there's a game going on at 10 tonight.
I'll probably try to tune in. I got to get up early tomorrow for work, anyways.
Yeah,
but my thing is there's a lot of question marks on this team, and we haven't made any moves to kind of alleviate some of that.
How is this 11th place team better when it's lost two of its most promising players, DPG? We lost Gaga for $15 million to Chelsea. He was our amazing starting goalkeeper who could get shutouts. Now we got to rely on Chris Brady, who is still relatively untested in the MLS. He's produced well in USL. And then we've lost Duran, who went for almost $20 million to Aston Villa. Now we have to rely on question mark. How is this 11th place team going to make the playoffs with two of its most promising players gone?
That's the thing, is that the Fire doesn't look like there's any urgency to sign someone. There's been rumors being thrown around that they're looking at someone. They're trying to sign a DP from Europe before the European window closes. But everything else has been pretty quiet, and it's only we only have less than we have a couple of days left in the European window. So
only a few days left, 5 days left in the 31st, so 6 days left. But it really, all those deals mostly they're started right now. Like those a lot of those deals, they aren't waiting until the last day. They got to get those deals done ahead of time. The agents working things out, all sorts of stuff. So
So yeah, exactly. So any movement that's gonna happen needs to happen. It should be happening now, unless it's one of those last minute things right before the clock hits midnight or whatever. But even then, that's at that point it almost has the stench of desperation. So uh, I don't know. We were complaining about the team last year. We pretty much got the same team this year. Maybe weaker.
It
Probably
feels weaker
now that we
because
don't have Duran.
we've lost two of our fantastic under 20s who were really relied upon last year to do things. Not only were we relying on this under 20 to get us clean sheets, we're relying on this other under 20 to score us fucking goals. Where are those goals going to come from this year? And they really didn't even show up last year.
And the thing is about it is that I know people are hyped up on Chris Brady, and I really want him to be successful, but I honestly think it's a little bit unfair that we're just throwing him out there because we have no other option. I mean, at least with Gaga, we gradually started him.
We didn't do that with Brady.
We're not going to do that with Brady. We're probably going to start him on the home opener.
I mean, people are a little deluded because they seem to forget that Gaga started starting games the year before he started basically starting.
Yeah, he started towards the end of the season.
And that was the year before. All last season he's starting. There was no games for Chris Brady. Very few games for him. So the same time that was given to Gaga was not provided to Chris Brady in that development. So their development windows totally different.
And the thing about it is that, you're putting Chris Brady in a situation where, with Gaga, it was a gradual, okay, we're going to start you in the last couple of games of the season because
the last 10 games or so they started.
Yeah. It's a lost cause, or we might not make it to playoffs. There's no pressure. No pressure. Mm-hmm. The key word, no pressure. We're not doing that with Brady. We're just going to throw him out there in the home opener and expect him to play like Gaga.
Well, you're absolutely right, though. You hit on something. When we initially threw Gaga out there, it was the last 10 games of a season that didn't matter. Going into last season, Gaga was saying, "Hey, we got MLS Cup hopes because I'm here." He was saying that at the beginning of the season. The expectations were different last year. The season before was the 8 games of Gaga, and then he was starting the whole season. This is a different thing for Chris Brady. He is starting. He is expected to become Gaga at the start of the season when he has not been given those Gaga games. We're going to see a little bit more Spencer Ritchie. We're going to see a little bit more of other people, and we'll eventually see, maybe, if we're lucky, if our young player is lucky, we'll see him featured in more and more games. But I don't expect him to get off on the right foot like Gaga Slonina did, because Gaga Slonina was set up for success in a better way.
Even Gaga, even if you look back at those 10 games, back in, was it 2021? There was times where Gaga had an amazing game, and then there was times where he made, silly mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine because he's a young goalkeeper who was learning, and there's no pressure. Now we're putting Brady in a situation where you can't really make a mistake because right now, when the season starts, every game matters. So
that's the thing, and that's what's different than MLS 8 years ago versus MLS today. MLS 8 years ago, you could fuck off your first 8 games. You could fuck off your first 10 games. That's not the case anymore. MLS has gotten better. MLS has improved to the point where, hey, if you have a 10-game weirdness in the middle of the season, you're out. You're gone.
Yeah. And another thing, too, is that, the only thing that you could probably say might have improved was our right back, because we got rid of Sikulic.
One of the better right backs in the league, offensively.
Maybe one of the better, but one of the more overpaid ones.
Yes, as well.
We might have gotten some improvement on the right back with Suket. But other than that, our midfield still looks the same. we're hoping for Hyro to have a breakthrough season, like have like him just like break out and have like an amazing season. That's what everybody's hoping. I'm hoping for that too. I give last season a pass because he did come hurt. This, as I mentioned earlier, in other
You've mentioned that in the past few podcasts that you spoke with Ezra Hendrickson,
and he said
Ezra Hendrickson basically said that Jairo Torres kind of arrived hurt.
Yeah, so we're hoping for a breakthrough season. And funny thing is like I saw some pictures of him training. He looked like he gained a little bit of weight.
Do you remember that from Ignacio though? I remember seeing that from Ignacio from Nacho Aliceda, and I wonder if that's a little bit of the American diet,
American, it might be muscle. I don't know, but
it could be a little muscle too.
He looked like he gained a little bit of weight.
That American protein.
American protein.
It's not just the McDonald's hamburgers. It's the ice cream at Oberweis.
And the thing about it is that if it's muscle, you're trading off speed. You're probably now, if you have more muscle, you're probably able to hold off players. You could play more, more body to body, but then you lose out on speed. That's kind of like the trade-off.
You're right about. I think you're right about that. But hey, Jordan Morris, hey man, he's a chunky monkey.
He is a chunky monkey,
and he is fast as fuck, despite being a chunky monkey.
He probably takes big steps. I don't know.
He takes big steps. DPG, I got to get close to shutting it down here.
All right, man. We'll talk another time.
But no. I just wanted to warn you. I just wanted to get, kind of put that in our head here as we kind of enter into the last couple minutes, last 5-10 minutes, and rattle off your whatever else you got.
Let's see. We need to sign a striker. We got to get more depth on the midfield. We got to add another one more piece. People are bragging about adding another DM. I don't know about that. I think we're okay in the DM role.
Oh, we are definitely okay in the DM role. I mean, we got Pineda there, and you got the other young kid. Like it's we got
you got Navarro, and you got Jimenez is coming back. Yeah, you have a lot of options there. My thing is, Ezra might have to start thinking about switching up the formation. Like if nothing's working in the beginning, switch up the formation. But more importantly, you need to sign a striker. You need to sign a striker.
A replacement for Duran, because we all know Pushbelko is not good enough to be the number one.
And the crazy thing about it is that, when we had Nikolic, he wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the most technical guy. But the one thing that he had was that he was able to stick his foot out and connect with the cross, connect with the pass and score.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's all you need.
That is all you need sometimes in a striker. Somebody who could just put their foot on the end ball, the end product. But it might not just be their foot, it might be their head, and that could be Olivier Giroud.
Yep, exactly. So
Inga's saying he might have to take a run at Oberweis.
No, that sounds about good right now. Yeah. That sounds good about now, yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I'll let you go. I have to get the kid ready for bed. I'll try to hop on next week on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
And again, congrats on the wedding.
Thank you.
Have fun, enjoy it, and it's gonna feel almost the same thing as if you're dating and you're living with your girlfriend. And nothing changes until you have a kid.
I was about to ask. I was about to say, hey, lay on me your piece, but bam, there it is. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So if you're going to have kids, I suggest you try having them now if you haven't done so already. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, try to enjoy life before the kids come. Because once the kids come, it's like a light switch. Things change dramatically. Yep.
DPG, greatly appreciate that. Thank you, brother.
All right. You enjoy, man. Have a good night.
Have a good night, you too, as well. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much. That was GPG, 10-year plus season ticket holder, giving us a little marriage advice, giving us a little ideas to work with, and a little Chicago Fire soccer podcast. Greatly appreciate it. Love when DPG stops by. Love to hear it. Everybody, thank you so much for the awesome live stream. And in a little early, got a little special one for you as I was telling you earlier, but greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the kudos and the celebrations and the love and the appreciation and the support. I'll catch you guys next Wednesday, live as usual. Hit that bell icon for notifications. Spit and Fire signing off, and Some exciting new life events on the horizon. Everybody, have a great one. Love you guys all. Have a great one. I'm so excited. Let's go. All right, Fire fans, all you soccer fans, all you amazing people. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Fire it up, footballers. Catch you next time. Later.